You want success? Then stop running from pain, because pain is the price, the entry fee, the test, the filter, the forge. Albert Einstein didn't become a genius because life handed him an easy road. He chose discomfort. He chose to go deeper when the world stayed shallow. That wasn't luck. That wasn't talent. That was pain channeled. And here you are, scrolling your life away, waiting for motivation to come save you, waiting for the perfect moment. But let's get one thing clear. There is no perfect moment. There's just right now. And what the hell you're willing to do with it. People think intelligence is enough. They think being smart means they'll avoid pain, dodge failure, and skip to the finish line. But let me tell you what real intelligence looks like. It's knowing pain isn't the enemy. It's the map. Einstein said, "A person who never made a mistake, never tried anything new." You think that's soft wisdom? Number, that's brutal truth. Mistakes mean you bled. Mistakes mean you showed up. Mistakes mean you paid the toll. You want to be powerful? Then stop protecting your ego. Stop avoiding failure. Stop looking for the shortcut that doesn't exist. Your mind is a weapon, but you've been using it like a shield. You overthink, overanalyze, hesitate. You read quotes and call it action. You listen to videos and call it progress. But Einstein didn't become Einstein by listening. He became Einstein by obsessing, by locking into problems so hard they consumed him. While others were escaping discomfort, he was diving into it. Why? Because he understood something simple. Comfort doesn't build minds. Discomfort does. The truth is, you're smart enough to know what's killing you. You know the late nights of distraction are destroying your energy. You know procrastination is a slow suicide. You know your excuses are lies. So if you're smart enough to see that, then why are you still here? Still stuck, still soft, still avoiding the very thing that would set you free? Pain. Real growth doesn't happen when it feels good. It happens when your muscles burn, when your brain cracks open under pressure, when your willpower is screaming, and you keep going. That's what Einstein meant when he said, "In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity." You're looking for the opportunity without walking through the difficulty. You want the reward, but not the cost. You want to win, but you're scared to bleed. Then hear this. You don't deserve to win if you're not willing to suffer. That sounds harsh? Good. This world wasn't made for comfort seekers. It was built by the ones who endured. Every genius, every leader, every creator, they all share one thing. They learned to use pain instead of avoid it. They didn't pray for an easier life. They trained for a harder one. You say you want discipline? Then earn it. You say you want confidence? Then suffer for it. You say you want success? Then shut up and start acting like it. Because success doesn't listen to your feelings. It doesn't care how tired you are. It doesn't care what happened to you. It only responds to what you do. Einstein wasn't chasing motivation. He was chasing understanding. He sat in silence. He fought with the unknown. He suffered in solitude. And in that solitude, genius was born. That same genius lives in you. But it won't come out if you're scared of discomfort. It won't reveal itself if you quit when it gets hard. It won't survive if you live in fear of failure. You want to be exceptional? Then suffer exceptionally. Not because you hate yourself, but because you love your future. Because you're smart enough to know pain teaches what pleasure can't. Pressure creates diamonds. Resistance builds strength. And most of all, success demands a sacrifice. What are you sacrificing right now? Your time, your ego, your comfort, or are you sacrificing your future for the illusion of now? Make a decision, a real one. Stop calling yourself intelligent if you're still living like a coward. Stop pretending you're built for greatness if you keep folding under pressure. Stop lying to yourself with soft thoughts and weak habits. Einstein didn't wish for power. He earned it in the lab, in isolation, in obsession. He was smart enough to know that the mind isn't a playground. It's a battleground. And every day you either fight or you lose. So fight. You keep waiting for clarity, for some signal, some aha moment to finally push you into action. Let me break it to you. Clarity doesn't come first. Action does. Einstein didn't wait for lightning to strike before he started thinking. He didn't need motivation. He moved through confusion. He moved through failure. That's what gave him clarity. You want everything to make sense before you move? That's fear disguised as logic, and you're smart enough to know it. You overanalyze every detail trying to avoid risk, but what you're really doing is avoiding responsibility. You don't want to fail, so you sit still and rot. You think not choosing is safe, but guess what? Indecision is also a decision, and it's costing you your life. Einstein didn't fear failure because failure was data. It was feedback. It was proof that he was searching in places nobody else dared to go. He said, "A ship is always safe at shore, but that is not what it is built for." Neither are you. You weren't built to stay grounded. You weren't built to be small. You weren't built to live in loops of self-doubt and silent frustration. You were built for war, internal war, against distraction, against weakness, against the parts of yourself that would rather stay asleep. You already know what's holding you back. It's not intelligence. It's not potential. It's your inability to suffer with purpose. Everyone wants transformation. Few are willing to burn for it. Everyone wants power. Few are willing to be powerless while they earn it. Everyone wants peace. Few are willing to go through the storm. But you're smart enough to know that storm is the test, and you're sick of failing it. You're tired of waking up with regret, tired of scrolling while others build, tired of pretending tomorrow will fix what you refuse to face today. So stop. You don't need a sign. This is it. You don't need another video. This is enough. You don't need someone to save you, because no one's coming. Einstein didn't ask for permission to think different. He didn't wait for applause before doing the hard work. He chose the work because the work was the path. That's the formula. Struggle, repetition, breakthrough. But you've been quitting before the breakthrough. Why? Because struggle hurts. Because repetition is boring. Because your ego can't stand not being great right now. But that's not how it works. You don't get the results of sacrifice without the pain of sacrifice. You don't get the mind of a giant with the habits of a child. You don't get to talk about greatness while living in mediocrity. And here's the punchline. You already know all this. You're smart enough to recognize the trap. You just haven't been brave enough to escape it. Einstein once said, "The measure of intelligence is the ability to change." So ask yourself, if you're so smart, why are you still stuck? If you're so aware, why haven't you moved? If you're so ready, why are you waiting? The answer isn't out there. It's in your patterns. It's in your rituals. It's in your ability to say no to what weakens you and yes to what makes you bleed. Bleeding is part of building. Pain is part of process. And suffering with direction is the purest form of purpose. You want confidence? Then earn it in silence. You want discipline? Then prove it when no one's watching. You want results? Then shut up and work while the rest keep talking. You think intelligence will save you, but it won't. Only execution will. Because your brain is a tool, but it's also a trap. You can overthink yourself into ruin. You can plan forever and live never. You can know everything and still become nothing. Unless you move, unless you break, unless you endure. So don't call yourself smart until you've suffered with intention. Don't quote Einstein until you've earned the right to live like he thought. Obsessed, focused, disciplined, alone if necessary, misunderstood if required. You're not here to be accepted. You're here to evolve. And the only way you evolve is through pain. Not the random kind, not the dramatic kind, the consistent, daily surgical pain of doing what others avoid. That's your edge. Now sharpen it. You've come this far. That means something. It means you're not ordinary. Because ordinary minds quit halfway. Ordinary people turn off the video the second it hurts, the second it gets real, the second the truth hits too close. But you're still here, and maybe that means you're finally ready. Ready to admit the way you've been living isn't enough. Ready to look your fear in the face. Ready to do something you've been avoiding your whole life. Because the truth is, most people are smart enough to understand the rules, smart enough to see the traps, smart enough to recognize opportunity, but very few are brave enough. brave enough to walk into pain with their eyes open, brave enough to burn down comfort and rebuild from nothing, brave enough to sacrifice the easy path for the long, lonely one that actually leads somewhere. Einstein didn't rise to greatness by accident. He wasn't chasing fame, followers, or fake validation. He was chasing answers. He was chasing truth. He was chasing something bigger than his own life. And the pain, he welcomed it. He once said, "I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious." But he was lying. He did have a special talent. The problem isn't that you're not smart. You are. You see through the noise. You feel the weight of time slipping through your fingers. You know deep down you're not living at full volume. But knowing isn't enough. And intelligence is worthless without action. You've been smart. Now be something better. Relentless. Because here's the truth no one tells you. Smart people lose all the time. They lose because they think more than they do. They lose because they feel more than they act. They lose because they wait for clarity instead of creating it. And that's the trap. The mind is your greatest weapon and your greatest excuse. You can use it to invent reasons why today doesn't matter, why you're not ready, why you'll start soon. And if you're not careful, you'll build a perfectly logical prison around yourself. One that you designed, one that you chose, one that will kill your potential. Quietly, but not you. Not anymore. Because you didn't come this far to keep losing in your own head. You didn't endure everything you've been through just to die the same person. You didn't wake up with this hunger just to starve your greatness one more day. You're done playing small. You're done hiding behind intelligence. You're done waiting for life to give you permission. You're done apologizing for wanting more. Now you take it. You take the pain. You take the silence. You take the grind. You take every ounce of suffering that comes with leveling up. And you keep going. And no, it won't feel good. Not at first. It'll feel lonely. It'll feel thankless. It'll feel like no one understands. But eventually something changes. Not out there. In you. That voice inside that used to beg for comfort, it shuts up. That fear that used to scream every time you step forward, it gets quieter. That weak version of you that wanted to quit every time things got hard, it dies. And something stronger is born. A version of you that doesn't wait, that doesn't fold, that doesn't give a damn what anyone thinks. A version of you that knows how to suffer with purpose. Because pain isn't your enemy anymore. Pain is your GPS, your teacher, your test, and you're smart enough to understand what that means. The final truth. Every great mind had to earn its strength through suffering. Every great legacy was built in isolation, through frustration, failure, and fire. And every breakthrough starts with a breakdown of who you used to be. So here's what you do now. You stop negotiating with pain. You stop bargaining with your dreams. You stop letting comfort seduce you back into weakness. You wake up every day and choose to suffer on purpose. You bleed for your future every damn day until it becomes your present. You show up when it's boring. You grind when it's thankless. You persist when nothing makes sense. Because that's how it works. That's how minds sharpen. That's how greatness is born. You are smart enough to know pain is necessary, but now you must be strong enough to live it. So get up, get focused, get dangerous, and never stop until the life you see in your head becomes a life you live in reality. If this message woke something up in you, subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you felt the fire, and share this with someone who forgot how powerful they really are. Your journey doesn't end here, it starts here. And this time, you're walking straight through the pain. Unstoppable,